Crash, Chapters 15 and 16 by Jerry Spinelli. Read for you by Mrs. Shoemaker. Chapter 15. I love the way I look in shoulder pads. I mean, I'm big to start with, and when I put those things on, it's like I'm wide as a bus. DeLuca caught me looking in the locker room mirrors. "Keep looking, man. You're still ugly." "I ain't ugly. I'm scary. I'm scaring myself." I shrugged. My shoulders moved like small mountains. "That's what I'm saying. You're so ugly, you're scary. You're gonna score a touchdown every time you get the ball because nobody's gonna want to touch you." "Least I don't smell like you," I said. "Other teams get a whiff of you. They'll faint and we'll win by forfeit." "You're so ugly. When you were born, the doctor smacked your face instead of your butt." "Yeah? Yeah." By now we were walking across the parking lot to the football field. We had our helmets on. I shoved him. He shoved me. I punched him. He punched me. "Yeah? Yeah." We plowed into each other, colliding, shoulder pads. We butted helmets like bighorn sheep. We grunted. We growled. We weren't really mad at each other. It was all just part of football. Football, see, is a violent and emotional game. The more charged up you are, the better you play. It had been almost a year since we popped somebody. We kept smashing pads and butting helmets. We were ready to kill each other. And then along came Schultz. He walked right between Mike and me, pushing us apart with his hands and saying, "Excuse me, girls." I was on him like cheese on pizza. We went to the ground. I threw some punches, but all I got were sore knuckles from bouncing off his helmet. It was like fighting a clam. Then the coach pulled us apart. They were laughing. The line coach said, "I'd hate to be Hillside East having to face you terrors." Coach Latner said, "Guess we better get started while somebody's still alive." He blew his whistle. "Football team, 4 laps, go!" Football season was officially started. I ran alongside Mike. As we jogged around near the school, the cheerleaders were coming out. There were a ton of them. Nobody had been cut yet. 2 of them were at the water fountain outside the gym door. Webb and Jane Forbes. She was helping him wash out his sneakers. Chapter 16. On the way home, we talked about it. "I couldn't believe it," I said. "Looks like she likes him," said Mike. I screeched. "Likes him? You're crazy. No girl would like that oat burger." Mike grinned. "You're just jealous 'cause you like her." I laughed. "Me? You're crazier than crazy. Why would I like that stuck-up bimbo?" I laughed some more. As usual, we ordered pizza from my house. My mother told me that from now on I had to ask Abby if she wanted pizza too. As usual, she was in the backyard. She wanted some. I ordered 2 mediums to cover the 3 of us, both with pepperoni. When they came, Abby took 3 slices and started picking off the pepperonis. "What are you doing?" I said. She was stacking up the pepperonis like quarters on her plate. "I am a vegetarian." "Since when?" Mike sneered. "Since she started hanging out with little Miss Webb." She looked at me all snooty. "I do not devour anything that has a face." "She's even starting to sound like him," Mike blubbered with his mouth full. "She's getting weirder by the minute." "I never saw a pepperoni with a face," I said. "What do you think, there's little herds of them running around the ranch?" "No," said Mike. "They're not ranch animals, they're wild. You go hunting for them in the woods." I jumped in. "But only during pepperoni hunting season." "Right, or else you're a pepperoni poacher." We cracked up. Mike made like a rifleman. "You gotta get him with the first shot." "Right," I howled, "because there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded bull pepperoni." Bang! went Mike. And by now we're rolling on the floor. Abby glared down at us. And after we shoot the wild pepperonis, I sputtered, we eat it! And I reached up to my sister's plate, grabbed the stack of pepperoni slices, and shoved them into my mouth. Like this. Abby got up. You're disgusting. She took her plate outside. A couple of minutes later, we were eating our pizza in peace, when Mike suddenly looked past me and says, What's that? What? I said. He pointed. I saw something move, like go behind the refrigerator. I looked. Probably a bug. I just hoped it wasn't a roach. We went back to eating, and 10 seconds later, Mike jumps right out of his seat. Yo! I whirled around. Saw nothing. It ain't no bug, man, unless it's King Kong bug. All of a sudden, I wasn't hungry. I felt a little cold. Where'd it go? I said. There. He was pointing to the corner of the kitchen. The wastebasket? Yeah, behind it, I think, or under it. I'll tell you one thing, man. What? My voice wasn't working right. It's fast. I pulled my feet up to the rung of my chair. Mike grabbed the broom. He started over toward the wastebasket, holding the broom handle out like a sword. What you gonna do? I said. Flush him out. You sure you want to do that? Yeah. We were whispering. He poked the basket. Nothing happened except me scrunching up a little tighter. He poked again. Nothing. I think it's gone, I said. He went on poking, and then with the tip of the broom handle he shoved the basket away, and out it came. He was right. It was fast. A gray blur across the kitchen floor. And then I was looking down at Abby. Way down. Why was she so short? And she was looking straight up at me, her eyes wide, panting, saying, What happened? Huh? What are you screaming about? Who's screaming? And what are you doing up there? If Mommy knew you were on the kitchen table... I looked at my feet. She was right. I was standing on the kitchen table. How could that be? I heard Mike's voice. A mouse. Abby clapped. Wow, where? Mouse my butt, I said. That was a rat. I lowered myself to the seat on the edge of the table. My feet stayed off the floor. Mike held his fingers a couple of inches apart. It was a mouse. Abby sneered. My big brave brother, Crash Coogan, is afraid of mice. I could have killed her. Not afraid. Don't like. I just don't like them. There's a difference. Nobody was listening. Abby was all over Mike. So, come on, where'd it go? Mike nodded toward the dining room. In there. Abby was through the doorway, quicker than the rodent.